So here we are now in a wiring mess. I'm at the point now where I'm going to start doing some temporary wiring, building cables and connectors to try to get all of this stuff hooked up, the minimum amount of stuff I need to get that motor spinning. And this is the part of these conversions that people don't talk about, right? You see a YouTube video, some dude throws together a Tesla conversion, and you see some major highlights, but no one ever talks about like literally how much time it takes to do some of this stuff. For instance, this is like a 30-pin connector. It's called a cinch connector. This is what goes into the back of the T2C controller from EV Controls, and I've got to make every single one of these cables. I've got to pin out every single one of them, and then go through all these schematics to try to figure out what goes where. When you buy these super expensive kits from places like EV West, and they give you literally a giant box of parts, and they might label a bag with what's inside of it. Like, for instance, here's a bag. Brake switch plug. Okay, cool. What do I wire it up? I don't know. Here's another one. Here's the pre-charge resistor. Great. What do I do with it? What's these two little wires that have been clipped off for? I'm assuming I used the two big wires. Did they give me another end? No. So I got to cut those off, wire that in. They send you this little relay, but literally zero documentation on it. And so, you spend hours researching this stuff, and what I did was I went ahead and figured out, okay, where's everything go on this relay, and then I've got my little label maker here, and I'm making little labels, and I'm going to put them on each one of these connectors so I know exactly where they're supposed to go, so I don't screw it up. But it's just crap like this takes literally hours. And so over here, I've got a little, I've been whiteboarding all of this with components laid out, and now I'm starting to actually build just a temporary board where I'm going to put, the emergency disconnect is going to be coming in from the battery. Then we've got the fuse, and then the positive contactor, and then I'm going to take all these components, screw them into this board. I'm making individual cables to go between them to connect everything. And this is all just temporary work, right? I'm going to throw away almost all of this. I'm going to make, for the real contactor box, I'm going to make solid copper bus bars that I'm going to cut out, have custom cut out on the plasma table, and powder coated. So it's just a lot of little bitty stuff that literally takes hours. Like, I'm going to have to go through this cinch connector and, again, figure out every single wire that I need, pin it out, label it, figure out where it goes. Same with another bag of connectors in here. I've got this. I'm pretty sure this is the connector here that's going to plug into the Tesla motor. So there's another 20 pins I've got to create wires for. And so that's the one thing I wish I had done beforehand, was bought a whole bunch of spools of wire, because right now I'm missing, I don't have any 18 gauge wire on hand. I'm out of 14, 16. I've got a bunch of 20, 22, 24 gauge, but not what I need for this project. So now I'm sitting here doing what I can while I wait for FedEx to bring me my 18 gauge wires. I got like 1,000 feet coming, so I can start making all these wire harnesses. But this is going to take weeks to get all this ironed out. Hopefully I can get something up and going here in a few weeks, but with the holidays coming up, time is limited. So anyway, my goal today is to at least get this contactor board put together, wired up, and all the high voltage cables made and everything high voltage connected together. So we'll see how far I get. lot bigger box than I was expecting, but this is wire. Oh yeah, big spools. So this is pretty good 18 gauge wire. I did not go with the cheap PVC coated stuff that melts under heat gun, and I wanted to get the best quality stuff I could find for these wires. So my plan is going to be to start pinning out all of those connectors. The connector that goes to the inverter, and then the connector that goes to the T2C controller, and label everything and have, you know, 6 to 8 feet of wire sticking out the other end, and then I can figure out where everything's going to go. But just doing that's going to take all day, I would imagine. Maybe not, it might go quicker, but I can at least get started on that now once I get this finished here. So right now, I am making my own 12-volt battery out of these Headway LIFEPO cells that are 3.2 volts each. So I'm doing a 4S 3P pack, and I had some old copper bus bars, you know, just copper sheet that I had laying around, so I just rough cut some bus bars for them, and I 3D printed these cell holders so I could get these stacked and arranged in here nice and neat and tight. And so basically I'm going to wire this up with a BMS that I've got here, and then I'll be able to charge it. I'm going to take some measurements when I'm done with this, and then go 3D print me a little box to put it in and hold it, so that I can use this little 12-volt battery for quite a bit throughout this project. I won't run it in the car, but I'll be able to use it for doing all the initial testing and hooking up and getting the T2C to fire up, and, you know, send 12-volt power to the relay and the contactors to light those up. So it'll serve its purpose And I figured I might as well just build one with some of these leftover materials that I had, put these to use instead of going out and buying a new one. And unfortunately, I just don't happen to have any spare 12-volt batteries of anything laying around here, because all of our cars are Teslas, so we just don't have the need for 12-volt batteries. So this is going to be my main negative and main positive. Power flows down, over, up, over, down, over, up. And then this will be my main positive. I'll put the BMS leads on here, and then I'll make some little copper tabs too to hook the, I'll probably put some, I don't know, little 10 gauge wires with maybe like an XT90 plug or something on it that I can then just plug into that setup over there to get the power. So probably overkill for this, what I'm doing, but it'll work. And then I can even charge it too if I need to. BMS will protect it. I used to have a homemade spot welder that I used these headway cells for, and it worked pretty well. Last connection, no spark, that's good. I always get nervous. For no reason really. As long as I don't touch this side to that side, I should be good. Then I'll have to go back and make put some ring terminals on that BMS, on the BMS sense wires, so that I can screw these onto here. I really do like these headway cells though. If you've ever built your own batteries. All right, time for a quick Sunday afternoon update. So I've pretty much, I think I got everything wired up that needs to be wired up to turn this on. Got my Tesla Model S gas pedal here, got the T2C. I got this custom 12-volt battery that I made. 3D printed the case and everything. I've got my emergency shut-off switch there in a custom 3D enclosure. Little custom enclosure for this. Flip that switch, hits 12 volts, sends that to the fuse box, and then all this wiring. Got a brake switch sitting here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll this thing forward, and I'm going to go grab this Model 3 pack, and I'm going to put it behind the truck so that if anything happens, it's close to the door and I can shove the sucker outside in case we have a problem. Don't anticipate anything like that, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So hopefully, I'm guessing within the next day, maybe even later today, I might try to fire this up and see if I can get any response at all from the T2. All right, last video before I upload this and work on getting this motor spinning. The next video is where I will actually start hooking the battery up and then turning everything on and trying to get it going. I thought with this real quick, I would just get this iPad out, turn the 12 volts on, and see if the T2C even boots up. Like I think it's going to need high voltage to do it, but yeah, it's not seeing anything, so yeah, got to get it connected somehow. All right, that'll be the next video, getting this thing connected and turning it on, but we're set up and ready to go.